Hello, listeners, and welcome to episode 21 of the DNA Film Wars podcast.
Howdy, howdy.
Today we will be having our discussion episode on Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Absolutely.
Which is coming out, actually came out 2 weekends ago.
And we're just getting to it because nothing's coming out.
So today we plan on talking about what we think about this upcoming film.
Absolutely, as always.
We're going to rank the top 5 Disney/Pixar films since 2009.
Or of the quote-unquote revival era of Disney slash Pixar.
We threw in Pixar because we didn't
care about Disney movies enough.
Yeah. And then we'll, as always, talk about the major news that we found that we deemed worthy of our illustrious podcasts.
Absolutely.
Yeah. For
sure.
So, what are your thoughts on, or what are you anticipating with Ralph Breaks the Internet?
I thoroughly enjoyed the first movie. I liked it a lot. We actually just sat down and watched it, and we're going to be talking about it in a review, so keep a lookout for that. I thoroughly enjoyed that movie, and I'm glad we got to watch it tonight, and that we're going to have a chance to talk about it. It's a fun time, and I'm really looking forward to this one. If it's as close to the first one quality-wise, then I think it'll be a fun time too. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'll say the same thing. I just sat down and watched the first one for the first time, so I really enjoyed it. So I think this one I've heard good things about.
I've heard good things about this one. Yeah.
I think it'll be a really fun time.
It's got potential.
It has potential. I'm excited.
All right, so
much more excited than I was for Robin Hood.
Robin Hood. Oh boy. All right, so getting into this, we're gonna like we said, we're gonna rank our top 5 Disney/Pixar films that have been released since 2009 of the quote-unquote revival era. So with that being said, I'll let Aaron kick it off. What's your number 5, man?
Wreck-It Ralph.
Wreck-It Ralph? All right.
Wreck-It Ralph comes in number 5. Yeah, I was looking at our available options here, and
there were some stinkers.
There were some bad ones. Cars. I'm sorry.
Frozen.
I actually haven't watched Frozen from beginning to end.
I don't like Frozen.
Frozen's the highest grossing animated movie of all time.
That's bullcrap.
Okay. Sorry, anyway, going on. But anyway, I narrowed my list down, and Wreck-It Ralph just barely made the cut. I really enjoyed it. I don't think the rest of my films are actually Pixar films.
Are they really?
Yeah.
He's fudging his list a little bit.
Pixar is owned by Disney. It's all the same thing. But it was able, it stands up there, I think, with the Pixar films. Maybe not quite as high level as their highest level films, but I mean, it's a fun time. So I got it coming in at number 5.
All right. Well, coming in at number 5 for me is going to be one from 2014. It's Big Hero 6. I thoroughly enjoyed this film the first time I saw it. It's got a really, really nice story. This young boy who's adopted by his aunt,
Spider-Man?
Basically.
Okay.
Who's adopted by his aunt after his parents have passed away.
Definitely Spider-Man.
Him and his brother kind of live together, and they have this really close bond. And they're both extremely intelligent, and they like create these like different science projects together. And his brother ends up dying in a horrible accident, and he meets his brother's science project, who is a health robot whose name is Baymax. And from there, they just have a great adventure, and it's a really cute movie. It's a really fun time.
Moving on to my number 4, I have the sequel to the classic Finding Nemo, Finding Dory.
Really?
Honestly, it doesn't quite live up to Finding Nemo, but it is a really fun time. Getting to see these characters again after, what was it, like
16 years?
12 or 13 years, I'm not sure.
2013 to 20, or 2003 to, when did that movie come out? 2015?
To 12.
12 years, sorry.
Yeah, anyway. I love reconnecting with all those characters. It's still really good Pixar film. Dory finally gets reunited with her parents. But it's a really fun time. It's a really nice movie. So I got it swimming in at number 4.
Swimming in. I hate you.
Okay.
Alright, well, coming in at number 4 for me is going to be your number 5. That's going to be Wreck-It Ralph. Like I've already said, I thoroughly enjoy this one. It's a really fun time. The story behind it's really neat, and the art for both of our main characters of Ralph and Vanellope in the movie is a really good one. And the message behind it is really good for kids. It's okay to be yourself. I think that's a really good message for children, and I thoroughly enjoy this one, so I guess that's why I got it coming in at my number 4.
All right, for me, I got Incredibles 2 at number 3.
All right.
Obviously, again, doesn't quite live up to the first Incredibles, but It's a really fun time. I think the animation for that movie is astounding.
It's gorgeous.
I think the characters are very well written. The only ding against it, I think, is the villains are kind of lackluster, especially compared to the first one. But the heroes are great. I love their story in the movie, and it's a great Fantastic Four ripoff. So I got it.
Yeah.
I got it showing up at number 3.
All right. Coming at number 3 for me is gonna be Up. I really love this movie. It's such a great time. This adventure between this young, basically Boy Scout helping out this elderly gentleman, accomplishing his dream of taking his house to what is technically Venezuela in the real world, but it's not in this Pixar universe. But takes him to this waterfall that's in South America. And they go on this adventure together, and from there it just expands, and it's just a really fun time. We meet lots of fun characters. We have a big pigeon-looking ostrich, kind of almost peacocky thing. We have whose name is Kevin. They call him Kevin in the movie, and then we meet Doug, who is a dog that has this collar that helps him talk, and he is so funny in the movie, and I love it. But it's a great story. Their connection between this young boy and this elderly gentleman is really wonderful to see. And then the story between the story of Carl and his wife before she passes away is a really nice story. And it was one of the best Pixar movies I think I've ever seen. So I got it coming in at number 3.
Yeah, floating in at number 2. I also have Up.
Floating in.
Yeah, it comes in at number 2 for me. I really love it. Just like you said, the connection between this old man and the boy is really nice. The characters that we meet, the Doug the dog and Kevin the bird thing. These are all fun characters. This adventure they have in South America is really fun. I mean, the idea of like all these balloons attached to this house and just floating.
It's a neat concept.
It's a neat concept. It's just, I mean,
people used to tell me all the time as a kid I look like Russell.
Well, you kind of do.
That's not very nice.
I'm sorry, but it's true. Short and plump.
I'm not that short. I'm 5'9".
Under 6 foot, Dylan. I mean, you might as well be. You might as well be an Oompa Loompa. I mean, sorry. Sorry
if there are any Oompa Loompas out there.
Go back to the factory. I got off track now. You got me distracted, Dylan. Stop.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, it's a great movie. Floats in at number 2. What do you got at number 2?
All right, coming at number 2 for me is Incredibles 2. It is it is an excellent sequel to the first movie. It's not quite as good as that first one, like we've said, but it's almost right there on par. This is now the second highest grossing animated movie of all time, right behind Frozen, which is a shame that Frozen is the number 1 spot, but we won't talk about that. I've already mentioned how much I dislike that movie. But this movie, the voice acting is wonderful. I really enjoy the kind of role reversal story of how Bob is now being Mr. Mom. I'm gonna hit you. How Bob is being this Mr. Mom kind of character, and how he's going through the stress of trying to keep up with all the kids and all their daily routines, and especially trying to keep up with Jack, who's now, forming powers, and he's kind of flying off the handle. Like you said, the downfall of this movie is 100% the villain. It's not a very well-written villain as far as this movie goes. Definitely not as good as the first one. It's kind of expected. Almost, you can predict it really easily, especially if you think really hard. Our villain in this movie, her name is Evelyn Dever. So if you kind of fudge the pronunciation of it a little bit, it's Evil Endeavor.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't catch on to the name, but I did catch on. As soon as she was on screen, the first time she was on screen, it's like, she's a bad guy. The only question I had was, is her brother completely oblivious to it, or was he involved too?
But I thoroughly enjoy the story of this movie. It's a fun time, and it's beautifully animated. Brad Bird did a great job with this movie, as he does with pretty much everything I've seen him do, so it comes in at my number 2.
Yeah, coming in at number 1 for me, I have Toy Story 3. It's great. It's right up there with the other 2 Toy Stories.
It might be the best Toy Story.
It might be. I mean, it's the most. I think emotionally, it's
except for when this new one comes out, you're gonna cry like a baby.
I'm gonna cry. I mean, Toy Story 3 is hard to get through without feeling some emotion. I mean, because
especially that ending.
Yeah, Andy is outgrew his toys, and he's trying to give them away. And then there's this evil teddy bear.
I'm about to shed a tear right now.
I love evil teddy bears.
Lotso Huggin' Bear. There's a girl I work with. She has a Lotso Huggin' Bear, and it actually smells like strawberries.
That's not. Well, anyway, Toy Story. They're great. They're all great films. The stories are all great. They're all well written. Animation is fantastic. Love all the characters in it. So that's why I have it number one.
Yeah, man. I also have Toy Story 3 at my number one. I love this movie so much. It was such a great way. What I thought was originally going to be the end of this story was a great way to do that.
So did the makers, apparently.
Until we're now getting Toy Story 4, which is going to be an extremely emotional movie.
We can make money off of this again.
This movie is beautifully animated. The story is great, and it's wonderful to experience this journey with these characters that we haven't seen at this point when this movie came out. You hadn't seen in a solid few years, probably 5 or 6 years, I think, at this point in time. It's great to see those characters again, and it's definitely a very emotional movie, seeing Andy having grown up through this entire 3-film arc, now leaving to go to college, donating his toys to this daycare, and then the journey that these toys go on, ending up at this, this dump and almost being incinerated. That is one of the most emotional scenes, I think, in animation history. But this movie, it's great. Voice acting is amazing in this movie. Obviously, Tim Allen and Tom Hanks are wonderful in this.
How dare you forget Tom Hanks?
But I love this movie so much, and that's why it's got to come in at number one for me. So I guess we both kind of fudged our list. Yours had 4 Pixar movies. Mine had 3.
Yeah, who cares? It's our podcast.
Hey, that's fair. All right, man, let's get into some news.
All right, number 1 on the list. This debuted on Monday Night Football. The new trailer for Captain Marvel. Let me tell you, if I thought I was getting Green Lantern vibes off the first trailer, I was really getting Green Lantern vibes off of this trailer. I'll just be frank, it does not look good to me. The CGI looks shoddy.
Some of that CGI in that trailer is very questionable.
I hope it's just unfinished. The plot line is reeking of Green Lantern with the fighter pilot who crashes and everything. I don't know if he crashes in Green Lantern.
I don't know. I've seen that movie one time in my life. It was terrible.
The fighter pilot who crashes, and I guess she gets taken by
the Kree,
and her DNA gets combined with theirs, and it turns her into a superhero.
Kree warrior.
But anyway,
the OG Captain Marvel, played by Jude Law.
Sure. And
trains her, I guess.
He trains her, I guess. He kind of reminds me of the yellow guy from Green Lantern. So much Green Lantern vibes going on.
I'm getting a lot of Green Lantern vibes.
But yeah, I'm worried. And then of course, it's got Samuel L. Jackson, which is a plus. Samuel
L. Jackson's gonna be the best part about this movie.
It's the best part of every movie that he's in. So no question. So
I really like Brie Larson though. I think Brie Larson has got some talent. She was excellent in that movie, Room.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
She was good in King Kong.
She is good in the new King Kong movie. So she has potential to bring something good to this character, but the way it looks like it's being executed is not up to par with the MCU almost. I don't know what that reason is. If we're just not quite finished with post. It's not completely finished, creating those CGI effects or what's going on. But it doesn't look like it was the most well-written film. With that being said, it's an MCU film, so it'll at least be serviceable. It won't be terrible, but it doesn't look like it's going to be that good.
Yeah.
As far as Marvel movies go, it'll be at the low end of the spectrum. I have a feeling.
I have a feeling too. Yeah.
What else we got coming up? Speaking of the MCU,
Speaking of MCU, Jake Gyllenhaal is confirmed as Mysterio for Homecoming.
I love Jake Gyllenhaal.
Far From Home. I'm excited. I like Jake Gyllenhaal. I don't know how much of his face we'll get to see in this movie.
Love Jake Gyllenhaal.
But I'm excited about it. Like you said, he's a great actor.
Oh, he's a great actor.
Yeah, I love Spider-Man.
That first Spider-Man movie, Homecoming, was excellent.
We have another Spider-Man movie coming out this December that's supposed to be really good.
We'll be talking about that one.
Into the Spider-Verse. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what he brings to the character. We haven't actually seen a big screen adaptation of Mysterio yet.
No, the original plan with Sony for their Spider-Man movies, had it not been canned, Amazing Spider-Man 3 was supposed to start out with appearances by Mysterio and some of the lesser.
They were going to have a Sinister Six spinoff.
They were going to have a Sinister Six spinoff. I'm glad they did not do that.
I'm glad that they canned that whole franchise. That was bad. That was going in a bad direction.
After Amazing Spider-Man 2, yeah, that was going in a bad direction. But I'm really excited to see Jake Gyllenhaal in this movie. He's a talented man. Nightcrawler, he's excellent in that. Excellent in Prisoners. He is really good in almost everything I've seen him in.
What's that movie that he did with Amy Adams?
Nocturnal Animals. That movie was also good. I forgot I watched that one.
Brokeback Mountain, he's really good in there.
I've not seen Brokeback Mountain.
Oh, he's really good.
I've heard that movie's really good.
He's a little overshadowed by
Heath
Ledger.
Heath Ledger.
But
Rest
he's
in
still
peace.
good. And he's really good in that movie that made him famous.
Yeah, I know that movie.
Donnie Darko.
Donnie Darko. Oh, he's excellent in Donnie Darko. He's also really good as Homer Hickam in October Sky. Have you ever seen that?
No.
That's a fun time. But he's pretty much good in everything I've seen him in. He's played some darker characters, and I think he's got a lot of potential to be really good as his character. So I'm thoroughly looking forward to it.
All right, so
This one's for Aaron.
this
right
one's
here.
for me, hyping it up. So at the Tokyo Comic Con, a couple days ago, they released the SH Monster Arts action figure designs the actual figures for the monsters in the new Godzilla film, which is Godzilla, King Ghidorah, Mothra, and Rodan. So I want to take some time to talk about the designs of these monsters. So first up, we have Godzilla's new design, which we've seen in the trailer in action a lot. So basically, it's the same basic design from the 2014 film, but they fixed most of the problems I had with the 2014 design. One was his elephant feet. He had in the 2014 movie, he had like these rounded, no-toe elephant feet. They gave him some toes. We don't know. It's like, why would you care? But I mean, this is minor. It fixed his dorsal plates. They've restructured them to look more like classic Godzilla dorsal plates. And the one thing they didn't fix is that he's still kind of chubby. But whatever. Ghidorah, he looks pretty faithful to the the classic Ghidorah design. His heads are a little more dragon-esque, classic, like Eastern dragon design than usual. But that's okay.
He doesn't look as gold too in the figures that I saw that you showed me. He doesn't look quite as gold. Looks almost like a grayish color.
I don't know. He looked pretty gold to me.
Look really gray almost to
Are you
me.
colorblind?
But I'm aware of.
I don't know. He looked pretty gold to me, but I did see where because they have a different motion capture actor for each head. The director said he gave each head a different personality, and like the middle head's gonna be the smartest, and the other two are gonna be like following his orders or something.
Huh.
That'll be interesting to see. But they've sort of done that before, but not really made it that pronounced. So that'll be interesting to see. But he's pretty faithful to, like I said, the classic Ghidorah design. Rodan is very faithful to the original Rodan design. I mean, very faithful, which I am very excited about. The one that I am gonna have to decide after I see the movie whether I like or not is Mothra. They have pretty radically redesigned Mothra here, which I understand.
Looks like a praying mantis with wings.
Yeah, they've given her some very sharp and long legs things, kind of like Starship Trooper alien legs. That's what I kind of thought about. And her wings look quite a bit different. In the trailers, she doesn't even have like a solid color. She's just like this giant fluorescent moth. So
I think that's what they should stick with.
I don't know. We'll have to see. I'll just have to see and decide. But the new trailer comes out Sunday, supposedly. So we'll probably be talking about this again in our next discussion episode. Woo! Oh, I'm obsessed. Anyway, did you have any comments? They look pretty cool. They look pretty cool to you?
I mean, they look pretty decent to me. I mean, I'm with you on the Mothra thing. It looks kind of odd. Like I said, kind of looks like a praying mantis with moth wings.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that's gonna look once translated to film.
Yeah, I'll just have to see in action.
I guess we'll see. Other than that, I mean, I think everything else looks pretty good. I mean, not coming from the outsider's perspective of not being a Godzilla fanboy. No offense.
Offense taken.
I think they look pretty good, and I'm excited to see this and continue our Godzilla journey. We're up to number 5,
6. We just watched number 5.
Oh.
We've only watched 4, but
on number 6. I skipped the second one.
It's a good segment.
I heard it's bad, so we didn't watch it.
It's bad because it is. But anyway,
The next one we got Invasion of the Astro Monster.
Yes, or Godzilla versus Monster Zero, depending on
Where are you from?
It's a fun time.
What else we got, man?
Moving on, we have Kevin Hart is announced as the host for the 2019 Oscars. Not that I plan on watching them, but I just thought that was some.
Come on, you don't care about seeing who wins the popular movie category?
Yeah, but actually they're not going to do that now. But
really?
Yeah, well, I mean they were planning on doing it for this Oscars anyway, but I think they pushed that idea, pretty much canned that idea altogether.
For real?
Because they got all the bad backlash. I have a lot of trouble watching the Oscars because I feel like the focus is not on the films anymore. It's on, other stuff. And then even when the focus is on film, a lot of times I don't agree with their choices. Like Logan got robbed this last time around. And then even of the nominees they selected, it was like, I don't know, what was it? Shape of Water, Three Billboards,
Logan.
Darkest Hour. No, Logan was
nominated for Best Picture.
No, it wasn't.
I thought it was.
It was nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay, but not.
What else? Get Out.
Get Out. That movie about the tailor or whatever, and the one with the Army Hammer.
Mm-hmm. Sure. I don't know what that movie is.
The one with Army Hammer. The one where he was. Oh my God, what's it called?
It doesn't matter. Just roll on.
Anyway, of the ones that were nominated, Three Billboards should far and away have won.
But Guillermo del Toro's
Shape of Water got
one. Which I've seen that movie, and it's not a bad movie. It's not a bad movie. It's
not bad.
It's Guillermo del Toro.
It's Guillermo del Toro at his Guillermo del Toroist.
I guess if you.
It's an alright movie.
It's a good movie. It's well made.
I just think Three Billboards is
the costuming of the fish man in the movie is definitely ripped off of Hellboy.
Yeah.
But I guess when the same director is making the movie and the same costume designer is making the costume,
and the same actors playing
the creature. I guess it's
gonna look like it, but whatever.
It's a good movie. There were scenes that I didn't want to see in that.
But anyway, back to the original topic. Kevin Hart. What do you think about him hosting the Oscars? Are you gonna watch the Oscars? Do you have any plans to watch the Oscars?
I have watched some Oscars in the past. I want to say the last Oscars I watched was the year that. Well, I guess it was.
The last one that I watched from beginning to end was the one that Ellen did.
I watched that one. I think the last one I watched was maybe 2 years ago, and I think it was where Moonlight won Best Picture. La La Land was nominated for a couple awards in La La Land.
I take that back. I didn't watch that one.
Was it La La Land that they thought won that movie, but won Best Picture, but they were like, "Oops, sorry."
Who hosted that one? Was that Neil Patrick Harris? No.
It might have been. I don't remember, but that was the last one I remember watching. But I don't have a problem with Kevin Hart hosting the Oscars.
Mm-hmm. He's good. He's funny.
Kevin Hart is an entertaining man.
He's better than Jimmy Kimmel.
Kevin Hart's a highly entertaining man. I hope The Rock makes a cameo at some point in his hosting. He's gotta. So
yeah,
I don't have a problem with Kevin Hart.
It might be. I might try to sit and tolerate it. I'll see how.
We'll find out.
How
February?
fast it goes down south.
Will that be in February?
Yeah, it's always in February. I'll see what the nominees are. If I like some of them, I'll probably be more inclined to watch it.
Next on our list, though,
Rambo 5 has wrapped filming.
Rambo 5.
He wrote. I believe he wrote and directed this picture, if I'm not mistaken. I know he wrote it. I'm assuming he directed it.
Assuming to be titled Rambo 5: Last Blood.
Something like that. And he's fighting the drug cartel. Yeah. He's a cowboy.
He is a cowboy. He's living the cowboy life.
Fighting drug cartels. People give Sly Stallone a really hard time, and sometimes deservedly so.
He's not the best actor.
He's not the best actor or writer, but at times he can be a pretty good actor and writer and director. So, it just depends on if the right elements come together for him. It sounds like he put quite a bit of work in this movie. The only reason that he did not direct, I've come to learn, the only reason he did not direct Creed 2, which he had originally intended to direct
Creed 1.
What?
He didn't direct Creed 1.
Oh, I know. But he originally had intended to direct and write Creed 2. The only reason he did not direct Creed 2 was because he felt like he needed to devote his time to doing rewrites on this film. So maybe he's put some time and effort and some heart into this movie. Maybe it'll be passable.
I enjoyed the Rambo films. I enjoyed the first three for sure. The fourth one is.
I think the fourth one's better than the third one.
It's okay.
But
the third one's not that good. The first one and the second one are good though.
I think the first one's good.
The first one's really good.
The first one's really cheesy, just 80s action, but it's a fun time.
The first one is one of his better movies, probably right behind like the first couple Rockies.
I would say the first one is better than all the Rocky films except for the first one and maybe Creed.
That's fair.
But
Rambo 5, I think it's got potential to be pretty decent. I'm hoping.
Or it could be The Expendables all over again. I don't know.
You never know.
Yeah, off topic. Dolph Lundgren is in Aquaman.
Huh?
I heard that today, and I was like, what?
What?
He did not make a single movie between Universal Soldier and Creed 2, and now he's going to be in 2 movies in 2 months.
Dang, what a
That's quite the career renaissance there.
what a guy.
But also wrapping filming is The Joker with Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin.
That movie looks like it could be good.
That movie's gonna be great.
I'm not going to quite say
That movie's
that.
gonna be great.
I'm not going to quite go there, but it could be really good.
Great.
DC's track record, obviously, since The Dark Knight Rises, has been kind of... But,
You didn't see his hand movement, but it was like up, down,
crash.
and then crash and burn.
It's like with The Dark Knight Rises, the plane was flying steady and everything.
Well, it had kind of taken a slight dip in
The Dark
altitude.
Knight, it was like it's the highest altitude you can get at like Mount Everest altitude. Then the plane, with Dark Knight Rises, we started descending, getting ready for a nice landing. Man of Steel came along. The landing is getting a little bumpy,
We're hitting some turbulence coming over the water, entering in the city.
And then Suicide came, and then we just crashed and burned.
Well. I mean, if we're being completely honest, Batman v Superman came out, and we went, woo!
Didn't Suicide Squad came out before that?
No.
Oh, I forgot.
Batman v Superman came out in March. Suicide Squad came out in August.
Okay, Batman vs Superman. We really
we took a solid dip.
We were barely keeping above water there, and
Then we really took a solid dip. We might have tapped the water at one point,
Yeah.
Captain Phillips style.
and with Suicide Squad, we crashed face first. There were no survivors.
and then we became a submarine.
Mm-hmm.
Then our submarine emerged from the water.
With Wonder Woman?
And then maybe caught flight a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe caught a little bit of air with
Flying
Wonder
submarine?
Woman.
Flying submarine?
Why not?
And
Then Justice League came out and
Justice League came
we're
out.
back in the water.
We're back in the water, boys.
Back in the water, boys.
But, anyway, getting back on topic.
I don't think this is a solely DC movie, though.
Well, I mean, it's a DC movie. I don't know what you mean by that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not in the DCEU.
No, it's not.
But, we'll see.
Joaquin Phoenix looks like he's going to be excellent in this movie, though.
Joaquin Phoenix does look good in that clown makeup. He looks creepy.
He's going to be super good in
menacing.
this.
But,
He's going to be super good in this movie. I am thoroughly looking forward to the Joker movie. I'm ready to see that.
Yeah, so one last thing I want to talk about. Dylan O'Brien, who you may remember from the Maze Runner franchise as the lead actor, has been announced as the voice of Bumblebee. And the reason this intrigues me is because they're announcing this
3 weeks? 3 weeks?
2-3 weeks before the movie comes out. I'm like, this is kind of late in the game. I mean, I guess all they're doing is voice work, but still. It probably comes out in the UK a week before it comes out in the United States, so kind of getting around late. This
Well,
voice.
if you really think about it, actually, Amazon Prime is doing a special screening for Amazon, or Amazon is doing a special screening for Amazon Prime members sometime this week or early next week before the movie even comes out. We, at our theater, have pre-sold 140 tickets for the Aquaman special Amazon Prime screening. That is next Saturday.
Are y'all having the Bumblebee one too?
I don't know. We should be.
Saturday.
Next Saturday on December the 15th, Amazon is doing a Prime member exclusive screening of Aquaman that doesn't come out until the following weekend, and we have already pre-sold 140 tickets for that.
Is y'all just showing it one time?
Mm-hmm.
How many people see it in the auditorium?
Our biggest auditorium holds 140. I think it has technically 159 seats, but we can't fill it up to 159 seats.
So it's already sold out, basically?
It's sold out.
Oh man, I wanted to go. You should tell. Why didn't you tell me that earlier?
Because I didn't know about it until yesterday.
I would have bought a ticket for it. Because
I
I'm
didn't
a
know about
Prime
it until-
member.
I didn't know about it until yesterday.
Well, that's unfortunate, Dylan. Anyway.
We got a little bit off topic.
Yeah, but anyway, so...
Dylan O'Brien.
What do you think about... I mean, what do you think about him? What do you think about Bumblebee talking a lot in this movie in general?
I hope he doesn't talk a lot in this movie, because that doesn't seem very faithful to what I know as Bumblebee.
Well, I mean, in the cartoons he always talks. That was just a Michael Bay thing where they ripped his voice box out. Which I liked. It's actually, I think, a good character trait. But I'm just saying.
I didn't really watch the cartoon a whole lot. Never really seen a whole lot of the cartoon, so I can't attest to that.
What?
But,
You should watch... We're going to have to watch the cartoon now. The original run. And then some of the other ones are really good, like Beast Wars and stuff.
alright.
But anyway, sorry.
I mean, Dylan O'Brien, I like Dylan
He's a
O'Brien.
decent actor.
He's a decent actor. He's got some talent, so...
I mean, he got
That's
stuck in a
what's
YA franchise.
You know what?
In a YA franchise.
That's fair.
But, you know...
But he's good, no?
He did alright in him, yeah.
I mean, he does good for what he's given.
Even as the movies fell apart around him, he kept on chugging along. He
did
like
good
broke
for
his
what he was
leg
given.
for one of those movies.
He did.
Not on purpose, but...
I think that last one.
yeah. But yeah, I think he's an alright actor. Obviously he's voice acting, but voice acting, I mean,
I feel like voice acting is probably harder than actually acting.
it might be because you have to like,
People can't see you, so you can't convey, like
you're having to convey all your
emotions.
emotions through your voice and
Yeah.
not through your facial expression. I mean, yeah, I'm sure it's difficult. It's hard.
But a
then-
lot of the time, you're not acting with the other people that are in the movie. You're just
Yeah.
in a booth by yourself with
Yeah.
a sound tech outside.
Oh yeah. So, I mean, I'm sure it is hard, but I mean, yeah, I hope Bumblebee doesn't just like talk our ears off in this movie.
I don't know.
But
I have hope for this movie
I have hope that it will at least be better
than the last two Transformers
than
movies.
the last
Three Transformers.
3 or 4 Transformers movies. Maybe. I mean, if it's as good as the first I know a lot of people still complain about that first Transformers.
The first
movie.
Transformers movie is good.
It's all right, yeah. If it's as good as the first Transformer movie, I'll be content. Obviously, I hope it'll be the best Transformers movie, but I mean, that's quite a bit to hope for. So
Yeah, it's got potential. I'm looking forward
I'm
to
gonna
it.
go with one of the better ones.
All right, well, let's talk about what we got coming up.
Coming up, obviously, Ralph Breaks Internet this weekend,
And
followed by
like we said, we just watched Wreck-It Ralph, so keep a lookout for a bonus review for that one. We'll be talking about that one soon.
Yep. We will be reviewing 2 films next weekend, God willing. Mortal Engines will be our first priority from the illustrious filmmaker Peter Jackson, who has not made a decent film since
The first Hobbit?
that movie. I don't even like that movie.
I like the
Since
first Hobbit.
2005's King Kong. Some would argue since the Return of the King. Anyway, and then the movie I am actually really excited for, The Mule, starring Clint Eastwood and that other guy.
A lot of people.
I forgot his name now.
Lawrence Fishburne, Bradley Cooper,
Michael Pena.
Michael Pena's going to be in this. A lot of people.
Yep.
It'll be good.
It'll be a solid movie.
Possibly his last film. Not confirmed yet, but...
I haven't read that anywhere, but I mean, God, he's 88 years old. How many movies?
He's an old man.
Then again, people have played in movies at older ages. Look at Betty White,
What is she, like 96 and still kicking?
96, still showing up and stuff every once in a while.
Jesus Christ, that lady's old.
Yep. So you never know. Clint Eastwood, he's a great man. He's obviously starring and directing in this one. Probably wrote it too.
Probably.
But I'm excited. So anyway, I believe that's all we have for you today. So
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to go ahead and plug our social medias. We're up on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can find us at DNA Film Wars, all lowercase, no space on all those platforms. So go ahead and give us a like and a follow.
yeah, but if you have any specific comments and or questions, you can always contact us at dnafilmwars@gmail.com. We are up on all major podcatching services. Please feel free to leave us a review. We are also up on YouTube.
Absolutely.
If you don't have any of those podcatching services available to you.
Or you just don't want to listen to one of those different services, listen to our audio file on YouTube.
Yep. Hopefully soon we'll have video files on YouTube as well.
Looking forward to that.
So you can see our faces as we review stuff.
We had a little bit of a minor setback, but
Minor setback. But you know, what is life without setbacks? We just get stronger.
a little bit of a money issue, but it'll be all right.
Money. What is that?
One day we won't have to worry about that when we're rich and famous.
Oh yeah, when we're rich and famous. We won't worry about it.
But I think that's all we got, man.
Yep. So I'm Aaron.
I'm Dylan, and we'll catch you in our Wreck-It Ralph review.